particular story now. Convicted racist Vicki Momberg is expected to appear in the Randburg Magistrate's Court to appeal her conviction and sentence. Momberg was found guilty of criminal injury after hurling racial slurs at a police officer in 2016. She was sentenced to 3 years in prison with 1 year suspended. Now, the South Gauteng High Court granted her leave to appeal her conviction and sentence after her first attempt to appeal was denied. She was granted 2,000 Rand bail pending her appeal proceedings. Well, my colleague Khayelihle Khumalo is live for us at the Randburg Magistrate's Court, and hopefully he can hear me. Khaya, good morning to you. So, firstly, have you been able to spot Vicki Momberg? We understand that she has been on bail, and of course we're hoping that we'll be seeing her. In fact, I think that's just her walking behind you, Khaya. Talk to us about what her argument is going to be in trying to lessen the prison sentence.
Well, absolutely, Goli. As a matter of fact, we got an opportunity to speak to her off the camera, and she was very in high spirits. I don't know if Lebo actually can try to give you a glimpse of her. So there you have it, Goli. That's her actually walking out. So in actual fact, today here in court, we're not really expecting a very lengthy proceedings. It was just a matter of a very short appearance from her side as she seeks to appeal this particular matter. But when we spoke to her earlier, Goli, she was in high spirits. She was really delighted and saying, well, actually, she's having a good time outside. Her perspective has really changed. And she still maintains that as much as she has been branded as a racist, but she's not one. As a matter of fact, she does believe in a new South Africa.
So what has she learned, Khaya? You say that she's saying her perspective has changed somewhat since she's been out on bail. What is it that's changed about her outlook?
Well, Goli, she was very cagey really about the details as to really what does she mean if she's talking about that. But she was making reference to me about how she's trying to change even her life. She was talking to me about the number of hairstyles that she has had the opportunity to have. Because I asked her, I said, look, there was a time where you came here, plaited your hair, and a lot of people were really talking about that particular experience. And she said, she has had more than 12 hairstyles, but also more importantly, Goli, in this particular case, we know that when the landmark conviction and the actual sentencing was done, it sort of really changed the jurisprudence in South Africa. It's a first case of its kind, and now she also has a new legal team that are really looking at this particular case.
What exactly is she asking for, Khaya? Just in terms of the court case itself, what is she hoping for? Is she hoping never to go back to prison, perhaps get a suspended sentence altogether? What exactly is she looking for?
That's what she's really hoping, to be out of jail permanently, Goli, but also to overturn the very sentence that was imposed on her. She still does believe that it was a very excessive sentence. We know that it was 2 years and 1 year that was suspended, provided that she's not committing any crime of this nature where she uses the K word. But also it's quite interesting, Goli, during the course of the sentencing itself, Magistrate Pravina Raghunandan was very clear in saying, look, the usage of the word in 2018, really just in 2016, really just caused so much harm to the officers who were trying to help her, as much as her legal team was arguing that she faced what they termed as an emotional storm because she was a victim of a smash and grab incident when she subsequently was involved in this particular situation where she was spewing out all sort of slurs.
Khaya, just finally, talk to us about, I think ordinary South Africans would want to know whether her views have changed in as far as black people are concerned. I remember I think it was a social worker who struggled very much in trying to, work with her because that particular person had been assigned, I think, by the court to her to try, and get through some kind of a process that she was meant to undergo. And the difficulty was that this was a black social worker trying to work with her, and at some point that person actually ended up not working with her any longer. Have her views changed in as far as black people are concerned?
The very view that she has always maintained, Xoli, is that she's not a racist. But also, we do recall vividly that the probation officer really had a very protracted and a very tough time in trying to work with her. And also even the correctional services department, some of the workers really said it was actually really quite a very tough experience working with her. She hasn't really just been, a lot of people are saying there is no sense of remorse from her side. So hence she still continues and maintaining her views. But more interestingly, now she has secured the services of a black lawyer. So her counsel is a black man. So that's a very interesting dynamic, really, and how things have really changed for her. But also more importantly, we know that this particular case has really just seen a lot of interest in so many quarters, given the gravity of the case itself, but also the judgment itself, first of its kind in the country. And we know that there is now the whole issue whether will she qualify for a parole. She has served a certain number of time behind bars, but now the question is, will she qualify for parole? So it remains to be seen as to what's going to be the case here.
All right.